Videocon Industries was once one of the most recognizable faces of India Inc. Today, he's been arrested by the CBI. Does the arrest of this high-profile industrialist send a strong message of deterrence to corporate India against crony capitalism? That's my top focus on the Newstrack.
The infamous ICICI loan scam explodes after the arrest of ICICI's star ex-CEO and her businessman husband. Now the CBI arrests the Videocon chairman. After years on the back burner, CBI cracks down with a heavy hand. And that's our top focus on the Newstrack.
Here's a look at the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Sensational revelations in the Tunisha suicide case. Probe reveals the actor and Sheezan had lunch for 15 minutes before she hanged herself. Tunisha's mother accuses Sheezan of cheating on her daughter. Big breakthrough in the Shraddha murder probe. Police access audio of her in a heated argument with Aftab. The mother accused voice samples will be taken now. War of words between BJP and Congress over insult to Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Mallikarjun Kharge aide deletes the tweet where he called the former PM a British spy. BJP demands clarification from Rahul Gandhi. Karnataka makes masks mandatory in public places ahead of New Year celebrations. Parties to end by 1 a.m. As China battles its worst COVID wave, Xi Jinping breaks silence, urges officials to take steps to feasibly protect people's lives. "48 hours after the arrest of ICICI Bank's former star CEO Chanda Kochhar and her disgraced husband, the CBI today arrested Videocon Group promoter Venugopal Dhoot. After years of the loan fraud case being on the back burner, the CBI cracked down with a heavy hand. The Kochhars and Dhoot have been sent to 3 days CBI custody. Is time finally up for high-profile fraudsters and defaulters? Here's our lead story tonight.
It's been a sharp fall from grace for Venugopal Dhoot, once the king of India's white goods market, with his brand present in every household in one form or the other. Today, the Videocon Group chairman found himself being led ignominiously by the CBI to a court in Mumbai. He's been accused of causing losses of 1,730 crore rupees to the ICICI Bank in concert with former MD and CEO of the bank, Chanda Kochhar, and her husband, Deepak Kochhar. Venugopal Dhoot founded Videocon in 1979 and received India's first license to manufacture color televisions. The company became one of the biggest producers, manufacturing TVs for other brands as well. Things started to go wrong from March 2016 when activist shareholder Arvind Gupta wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, flagging the illicit banking and commercial relationship between Videocon Group of Venugopal Dhoot and ICICI Bank MD and CEO Chanda Kochhar's family. Gupta reproduced the entire letter on his blog. 2 years later, with the nation already reeling with the Nirav Modi scam, the media picked up the blog post. Things came to a head by early 2019 when the CBI booked the Kochhars and Dhoot for alleged cheating and corruption in sanctioning loans to Videocon. According to the CBI, ICICI Bank loaned 3,250 crore rupees to Videocon, following which Videocon diverted 64 crore rupees to a renewable energy company, New Power, which had Chanda Kochhar's husband, Deepak Kochhar, as one of the promoters. The loan was later deemed an NPA, causing 1,730 crore rupees losses to the bank. Videocon, in fact, has been embroiled in other cases as well. The CBI alleged irregularities in the acquisition of stake in the Golfino Atom Oil and Gas field by Videocon in 2008. An inquiry then revealed that a consortium led by CBI sanctioned a loan of $2.7 billion to the company for these bids. The agency alleged that the loan amount was siphoned to other accounts and businesses. The company also lost a whopping 21,000 crore rupees in the 2G spectrum scam after its licenses were revoked by the Apex Court in 2012. The once pioneer of colour televisions in India is now closing in on liquidation. The downfall followed as soon as the people at the helm decided to diversify their business by taking on a lot of debt but failing to use the money efficiently. The company declared bankruptcy under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code in 2018, but several complications concerning loans have led to delay in the process. Bureau Report, Business Today TV.
It's more than just the winter chills that's sending shivers down the spine of business barons and powerful bankers across India. Just when everyone thought the ICICI Bank loan saga had got lost in the labyrinth, the CBI nabbed Chanda Kochhar last Friday, following it up this morning by netting an even bigger fish, Videocon Group chairperson Venugopal Dhoot. The two high-profile arrests have renewed attention on the phone banking scandals of the UPA era. Here's a report.
In just under 3 weeks from now, the Kochhar family was to travel to Jaisalmer for their son's marriage. A private jet had reportedly been chartered to fly the guests, including top industrialists, to the dream destination wedding. Chanda and spouse Deepak Kochhar's sudden arrest has put to paid all those plans. But it was the bigger post-Christmas arrest of one-time corporate icon Venugopal Dhoot this morning that sent shockwaves through Indian industry. Together, the two arrests, 5 years after the probe began, are among the biggest ever in Indian business history. Chanda Kochhar was among the first women to rise to the top office of one of India's biggest banks, picking up a Padma Bhushan along the way, with mentions in the Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world in 2015. And then came the arrest this morning of Venugopal Dhoot. At one time among the most recognized, one of the most outspoken faces of India Inc. His arrest could well reveal the murky details of the quid pro quo deals with the Kochhars in lieu for loans from ICICI Bank. The arrests are a wake-up call for the industry. It's not often that blatant sweetheart deals and billion-rupee scams lead to such high-profile arrests, given that many other willful defaulters and banking fraud accused have in the past managed to escape from India. While the timing of the arrests may lead to speculation, the CBI told the court today that ICICI Bank is said to have suffered a loss of 1,730 crore between 2009 and 2011. The agency also told the court that Dhoot had not been cooperating in the probe and was arrested as a result. Bureau Report, Business Today Television.
One of the big promises of the Modi Sarkar when it came to power was that they would end the crony capitalism nexus, that this whole idea of ministers getting phone calls from their friends in India Inc., bad loans getting renewed, and that there was no fear of the law. That would end. Now, for a long time, it seemed that Chanda Kochhar and Deepak were getting away. Finally, they've been arrested, so has Venugopal Dhoot. Has this sent a strong message of deterrence? What's the certainty that such a saga would not unfold at this moment? Have enough correctives been put in place? What's the larger message for India Inc.? To talk about this and more, I'm joined on this broadcast by Hemendra Hazari. He's a research analyst registered with the Securities and Exchange Board of India. With me in the studio, a special guest, Arvind Gupta. He's the whistleblower in this case. It is on his blog that this investigation started, so it's a big day for him actually. Tamal Bandhopadhyay joins us, senior journalist, author. He writes on the Indian banking system. And Anand Adhikari joins us. Anand is the managing editor of Business Today. So let me start by asking Arvind Gupta about the arrest of Venugopal Dhoot and Chanda Kochhar, Deepak Kochhar. For a long time, it seemed that they'd be able to get away. Clearly, they thought they were getting away because they've planned a big wedding in Rajasthan next month. Guests have been invited, flights have been booked. This obviously comes as a shock to them and as a surprise to those who are watching. What message does this send? Has it happened too late? What do you think has changed? And is crony capitalism really coming down at this moment?
Well, I think if the government say that they are zero tolerance for the corporate misdeeds, banking frauds, corporate bankers nexus, then this action should have followed much earlier, at least 5 years before. It's too small and too little, I would say.
Why was it delayed in your view?
That's the system. It takes years to go step by step, and then there are multiple organizations, institutions who look into it. Then, of course, there must be some political interventions and interests also. He has been a strong politician as well, and a very known political donor as well to all the parties. That could be one. And of course, the corporate India obviously has their own weight. Who would touch them? But this action shows that they are not untouchable. They also can.
Okay, so you're saying that this is the right action, but it's happened 5 years late. Hemendra Hazari, your sense of why this action was so delayed? The fact that he's been arrested, and given the very clear money trail in this case, that a loan gets sanctioned by ICICI soon after an investment is made by Venugopal Dhoot into a company that's owned and run by Deepak Kochhar, that quid pro quo seems quite clearly established. The whistleblower in this case, Arvind Gupta, questioning the delay, is that something that surprises you immensely as well?
See, the evidence right from day one was self-explanatory. She should have been arrested immediately thereafter. When it comes to arresting PSU bankers and the public sector bankers, the regulatory and the police agencies seem to be extremely prompt. But here it seems there were very large political interests defending her. And it's a lesson that for these private sector bankers, because some of them thought that with their connections, they could evade arrest. Now, this rightly has been extremely delayed. And I suspect there are some other political reasons probably to deflect against some other scandal which may be brewing on the horizon, because there does not seem to be any additional information that we know in the CBI FIR that was the trigger for her arrest. So it appears that there is some other reason. I think the media would do well to try to identify what that reason could be.
We don't want to speculate, but it does raise questions. Tamal Bandhopadhyay, both our initial guests saying yes, there is a very clear case, but that case existed many years ago. If this action should have been taken, it could have happened earlier. You track the banking sector closely. What, according to you, explains the delay? And to what extent does it send out a strong message to the likes of Venugopal Dhoot, to the likes of Chanda Kochhar, that you cannot get away on the watch of the Modi government with this kind of blatant crony capitalism?
Well, I wish I knew the answer. Yes, there's a delay. I mean, that the fact that it happened between 2009 and 12 and something is happening after more than a decade, it's not that surprising. The surprising is CBI FIR was filed, if I'm not mistaken, January 2019. So what has happened now? Almost after 3 years, this arrest is made. So has the agency come across something new, some new information? That's the thing. So whether, and you rightly summed up, I think it's a shock for the Kochhar family and Mr. Dhoot, but for the media and a person like me, it's a surprise that why it did. I mean, why is it taken so long? I'm not taking for a decade, but almost 3 years for CBI. Has things changed? Has it come across new information to actually justify this? I don't know. But the point is, the record of CBI, our investigative agencies, to take such cases to their logical conclusion, I mean, leading to prosecution, is rare. So arrest does not send any shockwave or anything. Probably, I don't know. It's a question of surprise, nothing else. Only it will if you want to send a signal, then you have to take it to a logical conclusion. In the past, there are many bankers who have been arrested, even thrown into jail, Arthur Road jail. They had to spend sleepless nights for weeks with hardcore criminals in the barracks, Arthur Road jail. But what happened? They all came out. So the lookout notices have been issued against certain bankers were arrested, certain bankers were quizzed for long at CBI quarters, so on and so forth. But what is the rate of prosecution? That's the critical part of it. And there
Okay.
you will
So you're questioning the rate of prosecution, and that's an important fact. Anand Adhikari, you track banking very closely for Business Today. Your sense of the delay, whether new evidence has been found against the Kochhars, against Venugopal Dhoot, which would then explain the moment of the arrest?
So, Rahul, even I'm not privy to what the CBI has now found, but I tell you, a lot has changed since the days of the high growth which we saw in 2009 and subsequently the MPAs. And you talked about the strong methods with the government is sending to the defaulter and the corporates. Now, if you see the last, let's say, 7-8 years, Rahul, RBI came out with the AQR, that asset quality review, and then we saw a huge NPAs, in the banking sector. 2016, we saw IBC, and now we are seeing a better trade behavior. I mean, at least we can say based on the NPAs in the banking sector, and the kind of messaging came from IBC, like Ruiyas, they lost control of SR Steel, and RBI has sent almost close to 10 lakh crore of loan cases to IBC. Recently they came out with a simple central repository of information for large credit, where any borrower with exposure of 5 crore and above, if there's a default, now every bank gets that information. Willful defaulters or promoters, and there are actually they've been debarred from now accessing capital market to raise funds. And RBI is also not reviewing the term of CEOs.
So I now come to the second question, which we're tracking on the Newstrack this evening, which is to do with the larger issue of, ending crony capitalism. This dial a friend who's a banker, get your loan, rolled over so that you don't have to pay. Let me ask Arvind Gupta first. That big promise which was made by the government, to what extent do you think the law enforcement agencies have been able to create an ecosystem which ensures that the next Chanda Kochhar or Venugopal Dhoot or Deepak Kochhar know they can't get away with this kind of brazenness?
Not that they don't know, they know very well. The problem I find personally that investigative agencies, the regulators, they are pretty slow. They know it, but they don't act upon. Despite reminders, they don't act at all because they may have so much of the workload pending with them. In this instant case itself, it is just the tip of the iceberg. It is just not the Venugopal Dhoot, but I mean, look at the actions of the godfather in the bank and the brothers in the bankers, the offshore and domestic funding by the ICICI to these crony capitalism, who are not. The entire corporate who's who of this country is funded by them. You name anyone, be it Suzlon or JP Group or SR Group, and there are money trail established already. And even in this case, you have just done too little. It will take 10 years. You have everything. You have money trail established very well. You can take action within no time.
Hemendra Hazari, your sense of whether on the larger point of sending out a strong message against crony capitalism, that this dial a banker, get your loan rolled over, to what extent has that business ended?
I would say under the UPA, crony capitalism was more democratic in that it was given to a lot of crony capitalists. In the present environment, it seems to be given to very few select capitalists, where vast swaths of the economy, particularly in infrastructure, are handed over to select corporate houses. So today, crony capitalism is alive, well, and flourishing. The form is that earlier it was more given to the masses or to the mass industrialists. Now it is really given to a few select beneficiaries. So it has become even more concentrated. But the way what we are seeing is, of course, there's some of the evidence is out there, but no one is daring to really put it out even more. But crony capitalism is alive and very much flourishing in the current environment.
Tamal Bandyopadhyay, your response to this suggestion that crony capitalism hasn't ended, it's more concentrated now, it's not quite as democratic as it was under the UPA?
I think Mr. Hazari has hit the nail on its head. One, the ecosystem has changed, but yes, it's changed in a different way. There is a fear psychosis among the bankers, so the kind of thing we had seen in the past is no more happening. They are circumspect, their underwriting capability, risk management, etc. has definitely improved post AQR asset quality review, and they are being hounded by the investigative agencies. So that there is a fear psychosis among bankers. So that's how the ecosystem has changed. But again, there are very few players which actually have they have the access to bank money and the way they want it. If you see, we talk about corporate India, huge deleveraging, etc. But when you use a microscope and see a few instances, a few companies, their leveraging is actually sky high, and bankers in private say, well, they have no choice but to give them money. So crony capitalism does exist, but in a different form. And yes, it's
you wanted to make a quick point, Arvind?
Yes,
Exactly.
I wanted to share that when you say a dial a banker, that culture is not here. It's all hand in glove. All the top bankers and the top-notch corporate houses, they are well hand in glove. You don't have to dial anybody. It's not a crony capital at all. They know who has to be funded, who not has to be funded. The bankers know pretty well. Without the consent and absolute clear understanding of quid pro quo, nothing can move. Who doesn't know in this country now at the moment which are the corporates which are flourishing exponentially? The question is of the accountability, transparency, and the good governance of the banking, the public money. You just see last fortnight only the FM said that 10 lakh crore plus public money has gone down the drain. Written off. Whose money that belongs to? The shareholders, stakeholders. Why should not these bankers be accountable? So I say it's a bad banking, it's a corporate fraud.
Anand Adhikari, how has ICICI Bank done, in your view, versus its competitors after Kochhar's exit and the future of Videocon Industries, which is now a shadow of its former self?
So ICICI, Rahul, today is complete turnaround story. Initially ICICI was more like a development financial institution, and even when they converted into a bank, they had a huge corporate book. One of the panelists said about ICICI funding corporate, but there was only the public sector bank and the ICICI Bank. The SDFC of the world were doing only the retail banking. So ICICI had a huge, corporate book, and when the AQR and the when the economic cycle reversed, they were the big sufferer. Even this loan, if you see the entire loan book of ICICI at that time, it was around more than 2 lakh crore, and it was some less than 2% to Videocon. But I'm not holding a brief for the ICICI, but I'm saying the ICICI was one bank which was earlier funding corporates big way. Now today, if you see their book, it's almost 60% retail. Their corporate exposure has gone down to some 26% or 30%, including MSME. They are today lending to high-rated corporates. If you look at their book, but again, Rahul, like we say, good loans are, the NPAs are created in good times. So we have to see first corporate lending. That has to happen. So today it's all retail. Every bank is focusing on retail banking.
So I'm out of time on this conversation. Strong message has gone out. It's a delayed message. The ultimate question is whether or not the larger menace of crony capitalism is ending. And you heard from our participants who are not quite convinced that crony capitalism per se has ended and believe that this should have happened actually many years ago. I want to thank Arvind Gupta, Anand Adhikari, Tamal Bandyopadhyay and Hemendra Hazari for joining me. When we come back after a quick break, sensational revelations in the Tunisha suicide case. Probe reveals the actor and Sheezan had lunch 15 minutes before she hanged herself. What went down in that lunch? We'll try and get you details on the other side of a quick break.
भैया जी हमला। भैया जी 10 गोलियां ले ले।
गोलियां नहीं रख जा, गोली।
पर बाहर तो 10 लोग हैं।
10 हो या पूरी बस, अब तो बस 1 है तो डन है। इसको कोई वॉच कराओ। जब वॉचो में मिले ढेर सारे OTT ऐप्स एक ही प्लान में तो हर कोई बोलेगा वॉचो 1 है तो डन है।
वॉचो प्लान स्टार्टिंग एट जस्ट 42 रुपीज पर मंथ। आज ही सब्सक्राइब करें और पाएं सिलेक्ट प्लान्स पर 1 महीना कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री।
Twenty-year-old Tunisha Sharma's death by suicide has sent ripples across the film industry. Her co-star Sheezan Khan, who she was allegedly in a relationship with, is now under arrest. Tunisha's family has accused Sheezan of cheating and using her. The two apparently broke up about 15 days ago but had lunch just minutes before Tunisha hanged herself to death. Take a look at this report.
A young 20-year-old starlet found hanging in her ex-boyfriend's makeup room on Christmas Eve. 2 days on, questions loom on exactly what drove Tunisha Sharma to take her own life. Tunisha's ex-boyfriend Sheezan is now under the scanner, accused of abetting Tunisha's suicide. His questioning by the Mumbai police has confirmed that the two were in a relationship up until 15 days ago. But what exactly happened in the moments before Tunisha's demise? The probe reveals that 15 minutes before Tunisha ended her life, she had lunch with Sheezan inside the makeup room. It was at 3 p.m. that the duo met for lunch, and 15 minutes later, Tunisha was found hanging. And that's why cops suspect foul play in those last 15 minutes. Unanswered questions remain. If they had broken up, why did Tunisha and Sheezan have lunch together? What did they discuss in that meeting? On the day Tunisha ended her life, the duo also shot scenes together for the Ali Baba serial. India Today also accessed details of Sheezan's statement to the police. He claims he broke up with Tunisha because of the 8-year age gap between the two, and also that they were from different religions. But Tunisha's family has called this a sham, saying that Sheezan is using religion merely as an alibi. BJP netas in Maharashtra called for probe into possible love jihad angle in the suicide of the young actor.
अभी बात सामने ये है कि तनिष्का शर्मा की जो मौत है वो लव जिहाद का ही एक मसला है। मुझे लगता है इसकी पूरी जांच होनी चाहिए। पर दिन हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि ये इससे जो मामले हैं वो बढ़ रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है इसीलिए इसके खिलाफ सख्त से कानून लाना चाहिए और हम उसके ऊपर विचार कर रहे हैं।
While the BJP has been demanding an investigation into the love jihad angle, the Congress lashed out.
तुनिशा शर्मा के परिवार को 100% न्याय मिलेगा और यदि यह मामला लव जिहाद का है तो लव जिहाद के पीछे कौन से संगठन हैं, कौन षड्यंत्रकारी लोग हैं, इस मामले की भी तहकीकात पुलिस के द्वारा की जाएगी।
देखो, बीजेपी मूल मुद्दे को डाइवर्ट करने के लिए हमेशा मुस्लिम और हिंदू का झगड़ा लड़ाने का उनका कोशिश रहा है। देश में अशांति बनाना उनका एक काम है, इसलिए बहुत ज़्यादा महत्व उनके इस स्टेटमेंट को मत दो।
The Mumbai police for now has confirmed that they will ensure a fair investigation into all possible angles.
तो क्या सर यही सिर्फ एक रीजन है अब तक जो सामने है या फिर आप और भी जांच का दायरा है कि ब्लैकमेलिंग कर रहा था, वो जो और वजह तो नहीं है इसके पीछे?
वो बाकी की जो भी वजह होएगी नहीं होएगी वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आगे आएगी।
सर एक्स्ट्रा अफेयर और लव जिहाद की भी बात हो रही है?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ अभी तक तो सामने नहीं आया हुआ है।
As India awaits answers on Tunisha's sudden demise, the Mumbai police's investigation is focused on Tunisha's mental health and how she suffered several anxiety attacks before. Was the breakup with Sheezan Khan the final nail in the coffin for her? With Dipesh from Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sheezan Khan has told the police that he broke up with Tunisha due to religious differences and the age gap. Tunisha's mother claims he had promised to marry his daughter and then broke up with her after Tunisha caught him cheating. In this claim versus counter-claim war, one question remains. What really pushed Tunisha to suicide?
Just days before her 21st birthday, Tunisha Sharma allegedly ended her life on the sets of the TV show Ali Baba Dastane-Kabul, plunging her family and fans into grief. No suicide note has been found so far. The police have arrested the actor's co-star and former boyfriend Sheezan Khan for abetment of suicide. Sheezan has allegedly confessed he was in a relationship with Tunisha but broke up due to age gap and religious differences. According to sources, Sheezan has also said she was allegedly suicidal and he had saved her life in the past. Tunisha's family, however, differs. Her mother claims Sheezan promised her daughter that he would marry her. She has further alleged that the actor used to mentally harass her daughter. Tunisha's mother says she once checked Sheezan's phone and allegedly caught him cheating.
शीज़ान ने तुनिशा को धोखा दिया, उसके साथ पहले रिलेशनशिप बनाया, शादी का वादा करके फिर उसने तुनिशा से ब्रेकअप किया और उसका पहले किसी लड़की के साथ इन्वॉल्वमेंट थी। उसके बावजूद भी तुनिशा को उसने इन्वॉल्व रखा अपने साथ, 3-4 महीने उसको यूज़ किया।
The family is demanding a fair probe and justice for Tunisha.
She was in stress from so many days. वो बहुत दिनों से परेशान थी। हमें तो बॉडी सीधा मिली है हॉस्पिटल में। उससे पहले क्या हुआ, दोनों ने साथ में खाना खाया, दोनों हंस-हंस के बातें कर रहे थे। उसके बाद तुनिशा कब अपने मेकअप रूम में अकेली गई, फिर क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ कुछ नहीं पता। और उसके मेकअप रूम में वो क्या कर रही थी, अगर वो बोल रहा है कि ब्रेकअप हो गया था।
Tunisha's friends also confirmed her relationship with Sheezan.
On the set, they were on the set they were very close to each other because obviously they were playing against each other. They were hero and heroine of the show, or they were both of them were young. Both of them are young, and this is not a new thing.
कि जब दो यंग लोग आपस में काम कर रहे हैं और when they are opposite each other, they are the lead pair of the show. So this is not a new thing if they develop into a liking for each other or a relationship with each other. So they were very friendly with each other.
The untimely death of Tunisha has left the television industry shell-shocked.
वो हमेशा बहुत ज़्यादा खुश रहती थी, बट मुझे लगता है कि वो एक बचपना जो था वो उसके अंदर था, तो वो छोटी चीज़ पे अगर कभी ऐसे भी हो जाओ तो वो एक बचपना था. आई थिंक अब वो किस लेवल तक उसको ले गया या क्या सिचुएशन हुई है उसकी लाइफ में जिसकी वजह से उसको इतना बॉदर हुआ कि इतना बड़ा स्टेप लेना पड़ा.
It's very sad to hear because she was only 20 and come on, she had a very good career ahead of her. She's done a lot of work. कि खुद के सपने जो आपको अचीव करने लायक हैं, क्या वो मैटर नहीं करता? You all have to build that mental stability, that mental strength, that emotional strength to combat that, no matter what situation you are.
The All India Sign Workers Association has demanded the government set up a special investigation team to probe the alleged suicide.
सेट पे जब मैं जाने लगा मुझे रोका गया, फिर आस-पास के सेट के मजदूर से मिला, कलाकारों से मिला, कोई बताने को तैयार नहीं, सब घबराए हुए. ये कहानी बहुत बड़ी है. हमारी मांग ये है ऑल इंडियन सीनियर वर्कर्स की तरफ से कि इसकी SIT से जांच की जाए महाराष्ट्र सरकार और एक्टर के नार्को टेस्ट किया जाए, और जो प्रोड्यूसर है वो सामने अभी तक नहीं आया. जो प्रोड्यूसर है इसका अलीम.
The FIR filed by the police states that Tunisha went into depression after her breakup with Sheezan. But what pushed Tunisha to the brink is still a mystery. Bureau Report, India Today.
Just 20 years old, Tunisha Sharma had made a mark both on TV and in films. She played the role of a young Katrina Kaif in Fitur and also starred in Salman Khan's Dabangg 3. Here's a look at her promising career that has been tragically cut short.
Tunisha Sharma was born on 4th January 2002 in Chandigarh and completed her education from Chandigarh University. She always had a passion for working in the films since childhood and wanted to pursue a career in this field. Tunisha went on to make a name for herself in both films and on television. Making her acting debut in 2015 with Bharat ke Veer Putra Maharana Pratap as Chand Kanwal. She also went on to star in popular television shows as Rajkumari Ahankara in Chakravartin Ashoka.
नींद के दुश्मन दिन भर
Bubbly in Ishq Subhan Allah.
खुराफाती दिमाग, ये बच्चे हैं आफत, लेकिन ज़ारा के सामने दिखाते हैं शराफत. ज़ारा से पूरा होता है परिवार, बिना किसी रिश्ते के क्या कबीर और ज़ारा रह पाएंगे एक साथ.
And Adya Verma in Internet Wala Love with Shivin Narang.
हो डाउनलोड यहाँ प्यार, पर सबको प्यार का ये अंदाज नहीं भाता. आज भी कल का खूबसूरत तरीका ही राह से आता। तो इस जमाने में
The duo was supposed to collaborate for a music video that was scheduled to be filmed on 25th December. Tunisha made her Bollywood debut with Fitoor and essayed the role of young Firdaus and later playing young Diya in Baar Baar Dekho. In both the films, she played Katrina Kaif's younger version. Tunisha was seen in Dabangg 3 and she also essayed the role of Vidya Balan's daughter Mini in the film Kahani 2.
इंसान का दिल ही नहीं, उनकी रूह कांप उठती थी। उनके सरगना का नाम।
She last appeared as Princess Mariam in television series titled Alibaba Dastane-Kabul, which aired on Sony Sub.
सारी दुनिया देखी।
Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
28-year-old Sheezan Khan is currently in custody. He's been charged with abetment to suicide. He reportedly met Tunisha on the sets of their show Alibaba. Shinaz is originally from Meerut. His two sisters are also actors. They say their brother is cooperating with the investigators.
TV star Sheezan Mohammad Khan has come under the spotlight after his co-star and ex-girlfriend Tunisha Sharma allegedly died by suicide on the sets of their show Alibaba Dastane-Kabul. A case under Section 306 of the IPC has been registered. Born on 9th September 1994, Sheezan completed his education from Mumbai University. He started acting and modeling during his college days to support his mother and his family. Sheezan has two elder sisters, Falak Naz and Shafaq Naz. Both of them have acted in various TV shows. Sheezan got his break in 2013. He made his acting debut in the historical drama Jodha Akbar, post which he went on to star in shows such as Silsila Pyar Ka, Chandra Nandini, Prithvi Vallabh, Tara from Satara and Ek Thi Rani Ek Tha Ravan. Sheezan featured in Nazar 2, which went off air in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, despite good ratings. In the year 2021, he was seen in Pavitra. The actor was linked with actress Mrinal Singh before he started dating Tunisha. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
From Sushant Singh Rajput to Pratyusha Banerjee, there's been a rise in young suicide deaths. Tunisha's case has once again put the spotlight firmly on mental health and wellness.
As glamorous as showbiz might look, the sudden demise of these popular television celebrities shows it is not always hunky-dory. Tunisha Sharma's death has sent shockwaves across the country. And as the investigation is on, from late actor Sushant Singh Rajput to Pratyusha Banerjee, here are a few actors who allegedly died by suicide. Sushant Singh Rajput, who starred in several commercially successful films such as MS Dhoni, The Untold Story, Kedarnath and Chichore, was found hanging on 14th June 2020 at his residence in Mumbai. Sushant started his journey with daily soaps including Kis Desh Mein Hai Mera Dil and rose to fame with Ekta Kapoor's Pavitra Rishta opposite Ankita Lokhande. The actor's last film Dil Bechara had released posthumously on Disney Plus Hotstar.
मेरा नाम किसी बासु है क्यों है मत पूछो मुझे कैंसर है एक था राजा एक थी रानी दोनों मर गए खत्म कहानी
His death wasn't natural and hence led to massive protests, conspiracy theories and blame games pointing mostly toward his then girlfriend and actor Riya Chakrabarti. Sasural Simar ka fame Vaishali Thakkar's death also came as a shocker. The actress had been living at her Indore residence where she was found hanging on 15th October 2022. Post her death, a suicide note was also recovered in which the late actress had blamed Rahul Navlani for destroying her life in the 5-page long note. Kahani Ghar Ghar ki fame actor Sameer Sharma is also one of the names who bid adieu to the world a little too soon. The actor was only 44 when he was found hanging at his Mumbai residence on 4th August 2020. He had featured in several popular shows on television including Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, Left Right Left, Geet Hui Sabse Parai. Sameer's social media posts hinted at his suffering from depression, which could have led him to take that extreme step.
3 o'clock. So, ladies kept coming and asking me, are you ready? Are you ready? I said, yeah, of course I'm ready. I'm ready since 1. And so they called me to the set, and nothing would happen. I would come back. So they came to call me, so I went back and
Kushal Punjabi was also among the TV actors who died under the same circumstances on 26th December 2019. According to police report, actor died by suicide at the age of 36. It was claimed he was suffering from depression. A suicide note was discovered which reportedly left his belongings to his parents and his son. Kushal began his career in the entertainment industry as early as 1995, but gained fame with Dekho Magar Pyar Se, Kabhi Haan Kabhi Na. He also participated in Fear Factor, a celebrity reality show. Kushal was also part of several films including Farhan Akhtar's Lakshya, Salame-Ishq, Dhan Dana Dhan Gol and A Gentleman, among others. Sejal Sharma rose to fame with her television show Dil To Happy Hai. On January 25, 2020, the actress was found dead at her Mumbai residence. Police recovered a suicide note in which the actress stated that she was taking this extreme step for personal reasons and that no one should be held responsible for her death. Asif Basra had also died by suicide allegedly and was found hanging on 12th November 2020 in Dharamshala. The actor had worked in numerous films and television serials but was internationally known for his role in Outsourced. He was also seen in films like Black Friday and Jab We Met.
आपका पानी चोर नहीं है हम बहुत बुरा हुआ क्या बात है भैया क्या हुआ ट्रेन छूट गई बेचारी की अरे रे 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 सुबह तक कोई भी ट्रेन नहीं है दत्त तेरी की अकेली है क्या हाँ अब क्या करेंगी ये वही तो तुम तो जानते हो ना अकेली लड़की खुली हुई तिजोरी की जैसी होती है
सुनो तुम नाटक मत करो समझे चलो फुटो यहाँ से
अरे हम कोई बम है जो फूट जाएंगे
Asif was part of Amazon Prime's popular series Patal Lok and The Family Man Season 2, which aired posthumously. Pratyusha Banerjee, popular for her role as Anandi in Balika Vadu, breathed her last on 1st April 2016. She was only 24 years old at the time of her death. The actress allegedly died by suicide at her Goregaon residence and was rushed to a hospital in Andheri by her then boyfriend Rahul Raj Singh, where she was declared brought dead. The reason behind her death was linked with the turmoil in her love life. While television industry saw a long list of deaths, cinema also has seen losses in sudden demise of Guru Dutt, Silk Smitha, Jia Khan. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the Newstrack tonight. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Goodbye. Good night.